Awesome, guys. Well, who's pumped to get some leads? You know, it's always it's the lifeblood of your business, right? If you don't have any leads, you can't sell anything, you can't build anything. So if you're excited to get a free strategy on how to do this, then give me a hell yeah in the chat box. I want to see this thing blow up, or maybe I'll just go back there and write some more sticky notes. Get in the chat box, chuck us in, pump it up. Awesome, love it. Cool. All right, guys. Let me just share my screen. Got this all loaded up here. So let me know if you can see my screen. You got that there, Owen? Anybody else? Give us a thumbs up. Awesome, sweet as. So guys, I'm going to go through this really quickly, and then I'm going to, so I've got a short presentation on the sort of the where it fits in, how it works, and break down a bit of why the ad is successful. And then I'm actually going to jump into the ads manager and I'm going to run through and set it up for you. So we're going to get the recording out to you after this, so don't stress about if I'm going too fast, right? Feel free to chuck in any questions and I'll have a Q&A at the end. But I'm going to go through, show you how it all works, and then actually set one up for you so that you can literally follow this step by step. And I want to see you guys, getting some leads and posting back your wins into the Facebook group. So it's always a bit of social equity is good. So let us know how your results go, and it'll make me feel good. So we'll jump straight into it, guys. Going to be covering off what it looks like, right? Where it fits in the process, because there's so many things you can do with your marketing. Where does it actually fit into the things, and how does it all work? Then we're going to build one out real time, all right? And as I've mentioned, we're going to go pretty quickly. So don't stress, we're going to have a recording and all the slides to go with it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go from blank slate, because whenever I talk to anyone about doing marketing, they kind of just look at me like a deer in headlights and go, where do I start? Okay. And so we're going to go from blank slate to completely done. All right. And at the end of this session, plus the recording, you guys are going to be able to have the exact copy and paste ad copy that you can set up. I'll run you through exactly how to do it. And you don't need a website. You literally don't need anything fancy. But we're going to, so I've taken out all the barriers possible to stop those getting in the way. And initially I did have, a bit of a step-by-step on why it's important and how to use this and which headlines to use and that kind of thing. But I thought, rather than overcomplicate it, this one here is just going to be basically copy what I do and don't ask too many questions and just do it. Last time I did this, I think Scott Todd was the one who chucked it up one night, ended up with 2 or 3 leads in his inbox the next morning. So it does work, guys. And just to prove that to you, I thought I'd put some money where my mouth is and actually ran some live tests on it so that, could show you guys that it does work, right? This is a paid ad strategy, but it's very cheap. We've got a cost per lead here of $50, spent $1,300 and got 26 leads. So when we're looking at this and it says $50, the average was actually about 25. It's just that I did a lot of testing in the front end so that you guys don't have to, okay? So when I say testing, I tested multiple different images, multiple different headlines, different sort of variations on the ad copy. And the one that I'm going to give you guys is basically the one that worked the best, okay? And I'll touch on that in a minute. So where this all fits in, right? So there's a couple of different ways that you need to do your marketing. You should never just rely on one area, okay? Because, if that area gets cut off, then you're screwed. You need to actually have multiple sources of lead generation. So we have 3 different ways that we teach at TPB. First one is your authority architecture, which is your social media. And this is partly what we're going to touch on today. Okay, there is a few more bits that fit into it, but this was one here for the social media. The second part is your website and online marketing. So you get a website done, you have Google ads, you send everyone to your website, that type of thing. And then the third one here is referrals, right? And that might be through architects, designers, 1% referrals, that type of thing. And ideally you have at least two of these running at any one time. So, you might be out there getting 10 to work, which is less than ideal, but you can get that from architects and things like that. But you also want to be doing your own lead generation too, because at the end of the day, they say, hey, we're not going to send you any more work, then you're going to be left high and dry. So always have more than one avenue of lead generation coming through, all right? Next, what we're going to do, first step in the process is when the leads come through, we want to qualify them, okay? Get rid of the ones that are a bad fit for us, because it's better to generate a few more leads, right? And if they're $25 or $50 or $200 each, better to generate more leads, pick out the ones that are qualified, and then get rid of the ones that aren't, because you're just going to waste time with them, okay? So cut them off early in the process, and you can save yourself a whole lot of headache. Next thing we're going to do is triage them, right? Get on the phone. We've got a full script and training on that, so I won't get too deep into these. Then you got your site visit, right? and then we work on the preliminary budget. So charging for quotes, making sure you're the professional given that that service there. All right. To give you a bit more of a visual layout, because I know some people work better visually, right? This is sort of how it fits in, okay? So there's multiple different ways you can do this. This is the Rolls Royce. So if we look down the middle, this follows what I just spoke about with your Google ads and your paid advertising goes through your website, okay? So ideally on your website or through your marketing, you have a page dedicated to your ebook download or your guide download or your info pack download. You then have an offer or an upsell for a consultation. You then have an application for a meeting, right? So if they say yes to this upsell, which is ideally in a video, then we ask them a few questions around, do you have finance in place? Do you have plans drawn up? Do you have permits? Where are you at the process? Tell us more about your property, what you're trying to achieve. And then a few other optional steps, we can actually get them to book into our calendar, our automated calendar, but you don't have to worry about too much of this here, okay? The other way people come in on the right-hand side here is your referrals, right? Your architects, your designers, your 1%. And ideally from here, sure, we can get them on the phone, but that's just more work for you. Ideally, we want to get them into this page here and just link them directly to your application page where they can put in their name, email, phone number, all the details of their property, and a couple of those qualifying questions, right? And on the left-hand side here, we've got the authority architecture with your social media. So you got your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and it doesn't matter if any of these social media platforms change. At the end of the day, we just substitute them in and they all fit in this bundle on the left-hand side. All right, so if you have an ebook or a guide, then you can use these platforms here as well and send them to that, right? But we want to make this completely, anyone should be able to do it. So if you don't have one of those, but you do have a website, you can send them directly again from your social media to the application page, right? But again, if you don't have that, that's no dramas. We can also send people to Facebook Messenger, or we could just get these leads delivered to our inbox. So what we're going to run through today, and I see there's a couple of questions here. Is there a printout? That's cool. We'll get this across to you guys, the slides and everything for you. It's a good visual, so that's all cool. So essentially what I've done here is if you've got these assets in place, all we need to do is change the call to action at the end, right? But I'm going to go through today how to do this if you've got nothing in place, okay? And it's really, really straightforward and you've got no excuses. So we'll keep moving forward. Well, here's what you actually need to get this strategy in place, right? You need a Facebook page. If you don't have one, you go into Facebook and say, create a new page. It takes all of 5 minutes and you put your business name at the top and a couple of photos and things. Pretty straightforward. An ad account, right? It takes 2 minutes to set up. You basically click a button through your Facebook page, right? But again, most of you have these two things set up. The third thing, you need to know where you actually want to do the work. That's pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure you all know where you're happy to do the work. Number 4, our template, right? Use our template that I'm going to give to you. You can copy and paste it, and then and you'll be away laughing. And the 5th thing you need is photos of your work, or if you really want to go the extra mile, you shoot a video, okay? And I'll talk about that in a minute. And even on this last one, I don't care if you don't even have a building company and you're just starting, right? You can just take images off Shutterstock, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. So literally no excuses here, guys, and you can only improve on this baseline here that I've done for you. So the first thing you want to do when you've got a new Facebook page, as you can see on the left-hand side here, this is XYZ Construction. It's the demo one we created. There's nothing in here, basically. It's a blank Facebook page. So the first thing you want to do is optimize your page, because what looks better, the one on the left or the one on the right, okay? The two different things here. One here is Marty's LinkedIn. The other one is SLC Builders, their business page here. So do you think it looks better when you've got a picture of your face in there? Does it look better when you've got a nice, banner at the top and a picture of you in the uniform? Of course it does, right? So we need to make sure we optimize our Facebook page, because if everybody, oh, thanks, Owen, love it. So if anybody sees your ads and then they come to your Facebook page, right, they normally don't click through too much, but if they do, just to try and learn a bit more about who you are and what you do, you want to at least have a good picture in there of yourself or your team, and then a pretty little image at the top there. Now we've got, again, another training on how to do all of this, and we've got all the examples you need for that. So we've got it all in this in a guide called the Social Media Playbook that you can put on there. This is the one here. It's on the membership site, and we can link that through to you. But essentially, this is just a collection of lots and lots of different members' posts that they did on their Facebook pages. And what we want to do is, along with putting a picture of yourself and updating a few of the basics on your page, you just want to spend half an hour and put a couple of short posts onto your page, right? And again, we've got all the templates here that you can look at for inspiration. Just post a few things on the page so that it doesn't look like a blank canvas when somebody gets there, okay? Again, all of this is, to be fair, is pretty optional, but it's really, really going to help you. If people come there and they see nothing there, it's not going to do much for your leads coming through. All right, so that's all we need to get started. Now, we're going to get straight into the ad itself, all right? And you saw the screenshot at the in the first slide there, but I'm just going to break it down in step by step so that you guys can understand how and why it works. And when I did this last time, I got a few people come back to me and say, hey, it's not working. And I looked at what they did, and they thought they'd be clever and change some of the bits and pieces. Don't change it. It works, right? Just do it. I'm telling you to do it. So copy and paste it. The only thing you need to change is if you've got a different offer at the bottom or a different way people get in touch, do that. And if you don't build new homes, then just say renovate. If you don't renovate, then just say build your new home, right? So the first thing we want to do on our ad is call out at the audience. The reason for that is because when you see it on mobile or on your desktop, you don't actually see the whole ad itself or the whole post. All you see is the image, the first 3 lines of your post here, and a headline which is underneath that, okay? So the first thing we want to do is call out the audience. Ideally, we go one step further, right? And if you're working in Hokitika, you say, are you looking to renovate in Hokitika, right? And the reason we do that is because if you're not looking to renovate in Hokitika, or if you're not looking to renovate, you will ignore it and you'll keep going. If you're in, I don't know, Botswana, you're not going to see Hokitika and go, that's me, right? So we want to repel people who are not interested, and we want to attract people and grab their attention if they are interested, okay? Because you're just trying to call out people who are you know, basically your ideal customers and who are actually looking for what you do, okay? So if you want to vary this one at all, you say, are you looking to build your dream house in Adelaide? Are you looking to renovate in Tauranga, right? Are you looking to extend your home? Do you need a new kitchen or bathroom in Auckland, right? So basically what you do here is just change up the type of work that you're looking for, okay? This one here, looking to build or renovate, was, again, a bit generic, but I'd ideally just stick with the one type of work that you're looking to do. The second thing here is we're going to make the offer. The reason we do this is because, like I said before, people only see the top 3 lines. So if they don't actually click your ad to expand it, then they're not going to see the offer. And, you know, I forgot who it was, but there's a big famous saying in the marketing world of just make the damn offer. Too many people hide it away and try to get fancy. Put the offer in front of people's faces, right? And that way, you know, they can see it and they can decide whether they're interested or not. So we're giving away 13 design and build consultations absolutely free, normally valued at over $9.95, right? Making the offer, this is what it is. Next, you want to value stack what's included, okay? And value stacking is really important because we break it up into chunks and we make it seem like it's more valuable than it really is. You're not being deceiving. It's all the stuff that you do already, right? And, you know, I'm sure all of you go to site to do a site meeting. You know, you are the director unless you're sending in a salesperson on your behalf. Yes, the director's consultation ticked off. So we're trying to stack these to make it appear more valuable because you could just say, we're giving away a design and build consultation, click here to grab it now. And people will go, what is that? What does it mean? I don't actually understand. So we're trying to break it down, make it seem super valuable and tell people what it is. So just to touch on exactly what these pieces are, design consultation, you can basically just refer them to your designer if you've got an internal designer, or a partner if you've got a partnership with one. Basically, it's just an introduction to a design firm or a designer that you work with, okay? And this is only if required. Some people don't even need that. Site walkthrough and inspection, just a standard site visit. Director's consultation, same as above, you meeting the client, okay? Selections, checklist, and comparison list. This is just a list of materials and things that they can choose from and think about when they're going through their project. We actually got this on the membership site, and again, we can link it through to you, but it's just a document that you can put your logo at the top and just prompts them around. Do you want, you know, timber cladding or color steel, you know, cladding or whatever you want to do. You want, what type of materials are you thinking for interior? Do you want a granite bench top or do you want a laminate one? So seems valuable, really, you know, that's all we're looking for here. Give them an estimate and a budget scope, right? So ballpark figures. This doesn't mean that you're going to break down everything into exact detail for them, right? This is just, we're giving them a ballpark. How much is it going to cost, right? Same with a timeline and an estimated move-in date. So it'll be roughly in December if we get things rolling and it all gets approved. Like, you know, give them some indication. And then connection to our preferred partners network. This is access to your suppliers through you, okay? This is, you know, not you giving them direct access to your suppliers and, you know, them just, you're not being able to clip the ticket or anything like that. It just means that you've acquired all of these suppliers that you work really well with. You know, there's a lot of crappy suppliers out there who have bad products. There's also people who, you know, don't get back to you or never deliver upon what they say they will. So they're getting access to your partners network, all your suppliers and all your sub trades. Okay, so that's what that one is there too. So seems really, really valuable, right? And normally most people say, yeah, we'll just have a, I'll come out and have a chat about your project. Like, which one would you rather get, all right? Next one here is we want to point out the pain and overcome that. So, you know, this one here, we can pump it out a bit more if we want, but it's pretty basic. We've all heard the horror stories of budget blowouts and timeline overruns. We have extensive systems and checklists in place to ensure that your project is delivered on time and on budget, right? That's all people want, is they want to know that they're going to get it delivered to basically what you say you'll do, okay? Because there's so many people run over both budget and timeline, okay? Next, we actually want to tell them how to take action. So people are stupid. This is what you always need to know. People really need like hand-holding in order to take action, right? So some people will get it straight away and they're very savvy. But there's also a lot of people who, you know, might not know how to use the tools in front of them and go, okay, cool. So right, what I need to do is, all right, fill out the form by clicking below, right? And then fill out the form, and then we'll schedule a call with the team. So you're okay, cool. So give them a couple of points on how to actually take action and do this. Then we just want to re-emphasize that this is a limited time offer, so scarcity, right? There's only a small amount of these available for the month of May, or for now, or for this reason. Like it really doesn't matter. There's a limited availability for this free offer. Book now to avoid disappointment, all right? And that's going to get people to do it now rather than just wait and get distracted. So that's basically the ad in itself. Now you've got two options for the creative here. Never mind Marty's ugly mug here. I just grabbed this before as I was thinking about it. The first, this is the exact same ad that we ran, okay? And I've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of ad spend into it. First one is a video of Marty. The second one is a text ad with an image at the bottom, okay? This video ad, we did nothing other than said, Marty, here's the ad, read it out while talking to your phone. Which one do you think performed better? If we say A is the video and B is the text one, what do you think it was? Chuck in the chat box, A or B. What one do you think worked better? The A being the video or B being the text one? Yeah, A. Awesome, awesome. So video is a really big deal. Video, you can actually use it on YouTube, you can use it on Facebook, you can use it in lots of different places. So it's valuable in itself, but also the way that platforms are optimizing and trying to get more engagement with people, they want people to sit there and watch videos on their phone, okay, because it keeps them on the platform. So if you really want to go the extra mile, you grab the script that I've given you. It'll be like a 60-second video of you talking to your phone with your work shirt on with your logo, okay? Hey, it's George here. This is the offer we're making, blah, blah, blah. Here's what's included. If you want to take action, click below and do these things. Like, it's really that straightforward. Just read the script, okay? And it'll work a lot better for you because people like to see a face behind the company as well. So video works best, right? If you don't want to do that, most of you are gun shy and don't want to go the extra mile, that's fine. You can just use an image, right? Ideally, what we want to do is use pictures of work you have done. So when I showed you that screenshot earlier of the stuff that I tested on, I tested a range of different images, things that look real fancy and are kind of like graphic design, scribbles of houses and that kind of thing. And then the one that actually worked best was really, really nice shots, like aspirational kind of, end result images. So if you've got professional photography done of some of the homes that you've done, or the interiors or the kitchens or the extensions that you've done, that kind of thing, it works really well. And it's the easiest place to start. And again, trying to make it really, really simple, stupid for you. If you don't have any images, like that's cool. Or if you just got them on your phone, they're probably okay. But I'll go through and I'll show you the images here that that you can just get from Shutterstock, which is a image service. Mark, can you show which one would work best? Yeah, man. Yep, I can share that with you. So here's a couple of examples. This one here has got, you know, interior pictures of the kitchen, exterior pictures, some of the bathrooms. So this is the type of photography I mean, you know, like professional shots of some work that you've done. Okay. This wasn't a clear winner. I've got a few other ones that I tried, and I can show you those ones as well. Anything that you've got that looks really, really nice. Okay. You can also use pictures of, you know, half-built sites and stuff like that. But really all we're trying to do here is prey on people's, you know, desires, because everybody wants to look the greatest in their neighborhood. So if you show them something really, really awesome, they can go, man, that's cool, I want that. Because that's all we're after, okay? Cool. So now time to set it up. I'm just going to get rid of my screen sharing here. So bear with me 1 second. I'm actually going to open up the ads manager. And we're going to quickly build this out, okay? Because like I said before, I don't want any excuses as far as you guys not getting this done. We're going to build this out real time and really quickly. So I've got my example one on the right. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Should be coming up now. Awesome, cool. So this is that page I was talking to you. It's a blank Facebook page. If you just create one, this is what it looks like, okay? First thing you need to do is obviously optimize this. You can do that in your own time. But what we want to do is go to the ads manager. So what you can do, they keep moving it around as they change the platform. But at the moment, they've got Ad Center on the left-hand side here. You can also type in facebook.com/ads, ADS, and it'll take you to the ads manager, all right? So that's how you find it. The next thing you want to do is click create, all right? Inside here, we want to click create a new campaign. It's going to bring up a box that looks like this. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know. We want to optimize for lead generation. So this is the one thing that you need to know depending on where you're sending people. If you've got a website and you've got a web form that is going to convert people, then you change this to conversions, okay? And that's if you're going to send them to your website. Otherwise, if you're going to follow along and just get them sent to your inbox, they're not going to see who you are on your website and that kind of thing, but they'll come through to you and you can touch base with them. So we go for lead generation here, tick that, hit next.
Can you just expand, Cam, like why would you choose the website one instead of that one? And, you know,
yeah,
what
cool.
kind of do you just, are you used to recommending people just do the lead gen one?
Yeah, so depending on what assets you've got in place, okay, if you've got no website and you've got sort of nothing really in place, then what I'd suggest doing is this lead generation optimization. The reason for that is Facebook is run by an AI, it's run by a bit of a computer, and it'll actually optimize. So if they have 1,000 people running around on Facebook, they know which one of you click on ads and which one of you just sit there and watch videos and which one of you guys like and comment on stuff. So it actually knows who interacts in different ways on the platform. So if you tell them that you want to get engagement on one of your posts, I'm not going to do that because it'll break. But if you click engagement, it'll get more people to like, comment, and share your posts, okay? If we choose messages, it'll encourage people to message, and it'll find people who are most likely to message you through your business page.
Mm-hmm.
If you click conversions, and there's another one for traffic, right? So both of these are very similar. This is going to show your ads to more people who are most likely to click off Facebook and visit your website. So the only reason I would suggest this is if you've got a really good website, then you do this and you send them directly to the contact form, okay? So that they don't get lost and they can fill that out. And the reason you'd send them to a contact form is just to get a few more qualifying questions out of them. And then once they've done that, they can check out your website, okay? So that just helps with know, like, and trust, and them educating themselves and who you are and what you do and that kind of thing. People will, once they finish that, go through and check out your website. But if you've got a crappy site, don't do it, because all you're doing is adding another variable or adding another barrier in the way. So there's probably only like 5 or 10% of you that I'd recommend doing the website objective for. Okay, if you've got a TPB site or a really killer site, then do that. All right. Otherwise, choose this lead generation box here, and what that's going to do is send those people, just click a few buttons, type it in, and it'll come through to your business page, which will come to your email as well. Does that sort of help understand that one, Owen?
Yeah, man. Perfect.
Awesome. Cool. So the next thing here is your targeting. Who are we actually trying to show this to, right? So there's nothing you really have to look at except for the budget, right? How much do you want to spend? Now for this one, guys, I'd recommend having a total budget. Like how many leads do you want? And for most people, you know, if you go for 10 or 20 as like a bit of a bunch or a batch of leads, then you can decide whether they're good, bad, ugly, and sort of restart from there. So I'd recommend to pick a budget on based off how many leads you want or need. So if we say I want 10 leads and I'd normally convert 3 out of 10 of them, then I'm going to get, you know, potentially 3 jobs out of this, all right? And just ballpark figures here. Then what we want to do is put in a budget here. You can change it to lifetime if you don't want it to be continuous, right? So lifetime budget of say 500 bucks, $50 a lead, you know, max. They're more like 25 bucks a lead, so it'd be 250. But the way that this works is I normally go daily budget, and the important thing that makes it work is that Facebook has enough money to spend to get the leads. So in the FAQs at the end of this, one of the notes I've put there is don't be tight. You actually need to have a budget that you've got in your head that you're going to spend on this, okay? You're not going to get any results by spending $5 a day or $2 a day. You need to have a set budget in mind and go, cool, I'm going to do this for a week and I want to get 1 lead a day, so I'm going to go for $25 a day. All right, if you want to make it bulletproof, 50 bucks a day, and just come back and turn it back off again. So that's the only thing to note on the budget, is have enough budget so that every day you can get a result or a lead. Okay, otherwise it's going to spend half the budget, it won't get a result, and then it'll try again tomorrow. So give it enough budget to spend. So for this example, 30 bucks should be sweet. Okay, $30 daily. You can set an end date if you don't want to run it for long. All right, this is just going to stop you, keep spending money and that kind of thing. So if you want to, you can pick a date, 10 days from now or 7 days from now where it will stop. All right. For me, I just let it run because as long as it's getting leads, then we're happy. So this is the next most important thing. When I talked about earlier, who are you actually trying to target, right? I'm not going to show this to everyone in New Zealand because I don't do work all throughout New Zealand. What I want to do is target every person in, say, I don't know, let's say that I work in Orewa because that's where I live. It's a bloody great place, all right? And we want to, the furthest I want to travel is 40 Ks, right? So I don't want to do any work further out than that because that's going to go over sort of a harbour bridge and that kind of thing. And you can change this here by reducing and the radius, right? So pick the location that you're happy to do work in and carry on. Age range, again, it's going to be different for a few different people, like depending on who you normally work with. If you're doing, let's say entry-level homes, you're doing, new homes for young people, then you can go somewhere between sort of, I don't know, 25 and 40, something like that. But really, most of you are probably going to be 35 upwards. We also don't want to target this to pensioners unless you work with them particularly, so you can cut it off at sort of 64. So 35 to 64 is a pretty safe range. All right, and that's pretty much all we need to touch on this page is who are we going to show this ad to and how old are they, okay, and how much we're going to spend. Next is the actual ad setup. What we're going to do here is copy and paste everything that we have got in this template. So I'm going to copy and paste down here where it says new ad. Get rid of all the images that it gave us. So here's our ad that I showed you earlier. You can copy and paste that in. We'll put a headline in here, which is free consultation, site inspection and estimate. Cool. And that's pretty much all you need to do for that step, apart from add the images. So if you've got images, upload them here. Click add image, okay, and you can upload them. What you can also do is click the drop down here. Once that disappears, and you can actually, from the drop down, choose stock photos. So in here, what we can search for is, I don't know, home interior, or you can search house, or you can search for whatever you like. Give it a second to load up because it's going to be slow. And if you don't have any imagery, you just come through here and you pick stuff that looks really, really nice. Okay, so let's pick this one here because it's the first one I'm looking at. Picture of someone's kitchen. Done. And then you got some professional photography that goes with your ad, okay? So your ad's all basically set up. If you're sending them to the website, you're basically all done. But if we're not, what we need to do is create a web form. So you have to click this button here to create a form. And then you'll only have to do this once, and this is the only last time you'll have to do it. But what we do here is we click more volume, because it's a default setting. In the intro here, we've got a couple of things that we want to do. So let me just run you through these. Basically what this is this is the little pop-up that happens on Facebook where people actually put their details into, okay? So we don't need to do anything here. Use the image from our ad. This is all straightforward. So then we want to go to our questions. What are we actually asking people in the when we're looking for information? So you can add criteria in here if you want to, but basically what I'd start with is just name, email, phone number, and what they're trying to achieve as far as, you know, tell us a bit more about your project. So we can do here is go, we've already got email, we've already got full name. Okay, we can add a, what do we got? Phone number, zip code, you can add a postcode or a zip code here. We come to user information, contact fields, where are we? Can't, it's somewhere in here. You'll find it's just gone because it doesn't want to show me right now, but you can actually ask them for their phone number. And the reason you put that in there is because people can, it'll auto-populate most of this data from Facebook. And then the other questions we're going to do is click this button here, add a question, and short answer, we say, tell us more about your project. And people can actually type in here and say, I'm looking to renovate a 1960s bungalow, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got that information to know what type of lead they are, right? It'll also come through with their name, email, and phone number so that we can get the ball rolling and basically get in touch with them. So just going to quickly look at the chat box here. Peter Niven, would you use Shutterstock images? Yeah, this is what I used for the test and it worked well. But ideally, you know, use stuff that is your own because it's, you know, most of you have got some good photography. And the one thing just to note on that is if you live in the States, you know, the homes over there look a lot different to the homes that we build in New Zealand and Australia, right? If you're doing bungalows, don't put a picture of an architectural house in there. Use something that's related to what you're actually selling, okay? Matt, always been tight ass, $5 to $7 a day, wondered why it didn't work. Yeah, so you need to allow enough budget for it to actually work for you, okay? This is pretty much all we need to do. I think you potentially need to link through here to a privacy policy. You can use ours if you want, the professionalbuilder.com/privacy. Put that into there. Oh, that one there. Just so it doesn't die on me. And click finish. And it's going to ask me to fix some things that I didn't fill out, but we didn't have time. So you can save that and click finish once you've updated anything that's a problem. And all you need to do is hit the big publish button on the bottom right hand side there and you're all done. Okay, so this one here you only have to do once. This is to set up the actual form that people fill out and it comes through to you. And then the ad itself is all copy and paste. Okay, so nice and easy. So like I said before, there'll be a replay of this, so you don't have to get overly stressed about what to put in there and how it all works. We'll send out the replay so you can follow along step by step. But does anyone have any questions? I'll just bring up my slides again so I can put up my pretty slide that says FAQs. Chuck them in the chat box now, and we can unmute some people. We've got a few more minutes here. All good. If I stunned you all with technical stuff, everyone's probably ready for lunch. If you don't think of questions now, that's cool. We can always have a chat about it afterwards. Cool. Sam, my ad center looks a bit different, almost like a simple version. Yeah, definitely. They try to do that to you. If you go to /ads, you can generally go to the main ads manager. They try and just give you the basic version so you can spend money.
Yeah.
$30 a day, is that good enough? Yep, absolutely. So give it over 25 bucks a day, you know, just so that it can get ideally one lead a day, right? Recommendation for runtime, basically run it for 2 reasons. So I don't know if you can still see my slides here, but I've got a couple of FAQs on, so spend, don't be tight, make sure you've got enough budget. The second one, when to change it, kind of relates to your question, Jesse. So basically what will happen is with this strategy, it's why we call it a quick grab strategy, is it'll get you some results generally, pretty quickly and get you an okay amount of leads. What it won't do is work for you long term, because there's only going to be a small amount of people in your area, okay? And once they've all seen the ad, then it'll stop being effective. So yeah, I'd probably run it for say 30 days. Over that time, it'll probably get less and less effective, right? So you might start off with some cheaper leads and then they might get slightly more expensive. But yeah, put a cut-off date on it, always works well. Otherwise, what you can do is refresh it, okay? If it starts to get less effective or more expensive, what you can do is just change out the image and relaunch it. So if it looks different, people will notice it, okay? Maybe a picture of a kitchen wasn't very aspirational, but maybe the exterior of the house looks better, and people will take notice of that. Cool, Sam, link for the ads manager. Yeah, dude, I'll chuck that into the Facebook page, into the group. Cool. Awesome, all good. Well, like I say, there'll be a replay, so don't stress if you didn't take too many notes, but this works really well. Like I say, don't break it. It works really well. I've tested it, put money behind it, and let us know how you get on. Chuck some results into the Facebook group. Always gives me a bit of an ego boost when I see people, using what I teach. So make sure you give us some feedback on how it's working for you, and if you have any questions. Cheers, team, and talk soon.